Alright, so today I'm going to be finishing fixing the Bandit. As you guys have seen, this is not how a foot pedal is supposed to work. So, I was able to get this piece from someone parting out a 2001 Bandit, and it should bolt right up, should be exactly the right fit. As you can see, they look really similar actually. So, I'm going to start disassembling. Originally these bolts were stuck tight and I had to use a bigger tool to get enough torque to break them loose, as well as some WD-40, and I was able to do that last night. So this should be a fairly smooth and painless process as long as I can keep all my bolts. Now, I'm starting with the brake booster, or the master cylinder, I guess, is more correct. Master cylinder bolts onto the back of this top plate. So, on this part, it would bolt up right there in these two holes. So I'm pulling that off first. Going to see exactly how much I can try and get off of it. It has a pin through the brake lever itself, which compresses the fluid in the cylinder, which then compresses the brake pads onto the brake disc. So, figure that's a good place as ever to start. Now, if anyone out there has a 2001 Bandit that you need to replace this or the other side on, then you're going to need a 6mm Allen key and a pair of needle nose pliers to get the pin holding the brakes, the back of the brake lever out. If you have it, you could also use a small a pin to slip into the loop on the back of this brake, on the back of the lever, and pull the pin. I think it's the cotter pin holding the connecting pin. Use that. That way you don't have to get as good of a grip with the needle nose pliers, and it'll all go just a little bit smoother. Unfortunately, I'm stuck with these. On second thought, I'm having a little bit of a hard time getting to it. So, I'm going to change focus. I'm going to get the rest of these bolts removed, then I can take the plate off and flip it around so I have direct access to the pin, and that should make it a little bit easier. So I'm not sitting here for a whole 10 minutes trying to get that off. Now, as always, when you're disassembling and then going to reassemble pieces, you want to make sure that you take all of your washers and little rubber grommets and everything off that you will need to put stuff back on, and make sure they stay together. Because if you lose one of those, then you have to go replace it, and that's time and money that you just don't want to use for that reason. It always kind of sucks having to replace something that you already had. But if it comes down to it, it's better to just replace it and know that you have it than having to run without it. Just like that, the last bolt is out. Now, I can pull this plug off, and we have half of our broken pedal mount, with the other half sitting nicely and waiting for us to just pull it out. Now, because this pin is rotating so easily, I'm having a hard time trying to straighten these back pieces right here out so I can pull the pin out cleanly instead of having to like struggle and pull against it. I'm actually going to see if I can just very quickly find something that'll make it a little bit easier. So, 1 second. I was able to find a drywall screw, which is not the optimal tool for this job, but it should work. And in the very least, it should hold the center pin in place while I can take my needle nose and straighten out the back ends. Now that those are somewhat straight, it should be really easy. Just use this drywall screw and work the way out with the cotter pin. Of course, if the cotter pin does give you some trouble, maybe it's stuck in there or has been sitting for quite a long amount of time, you always can take your pliers or something small and just gently tap on the back to give it a little bit of extra momentum. And if you end up bending the tail ends of the pin, then you just take your pliers and straighten them back out. And always be careful never to really bend them too much, because if you do, then when you go put the pin back in, the ends might end up breaking, and then you have to go and replace it, which you probably should be doing anyway. But if say you don't have the time or you're limited on funds or you just want to get fixed and working, and especially if this cotter pin is not like a structural piece where it's holding in something really important, where it's just connecting the brake cylinder to the brake lever, it should be fine because there should be next to no stress on the pin itself. So I'm going to, unless this pin breaks, I'm going to just keep it in and use it again. Just as a final note on this, is always easier to adjust the tools you're using and switch between different tools than to try and force it and end up breaking something. So if you have to go back and forth between multiple tools, that's okay. Just like that, the pin is out. I don't know if you can see it, but put it right on the seat. Now we'll take this pin, pull it out, which drops the rest of our pedal mount. It also had a small washer on the back of the pin holding connecting this cylinder, the brake cylinder, to the end of the pedal. So you want to make sure you have that. Now we take our replacement piece, check and make sure that this electric connection lines up. Slide the brake cylinder into place. Slide the pin that holds it all together through. And I'm not sure exactly how much it will matter, but I'm going to keep the small pin on the inside, that way nothing can bump it and cause it to come loose or for anything to happen to it. Slide the cotter pin straight through. Bend the sides so it doesn't come out. Then I'm going to start this time with mounting the brake. Now when you're reassembling things, you never want to just put one bolt in and then tighten it up, because you might need to use a little bit of wiggle room to get the other bolts to line up. So with this top bolt loose, I can start to thread in the second bolt. And since now both bolts for the brake cylinder are in, I just tighten them down. First I'm going to use the short side of leverage, so I'm using this end in the bolt and I'm tightening like this. That way I can get them both finger tight and not like crank them down before everything's settled into place and secure. Then I can secure it for good. Now that they're tight though, I'm going to switch sides to get more leverage to tighten the bolts down. And I'm going to give them a real good, nice tighten, because I don't want my brakes failing on a ride. Now that that's all said and done, I'm going to line up the bolts for the mount itself, making sure that my rubber washers are in place. I'm just going to hand tighten these before I move to the Allen key to tighten them down completely. And since our foot pedal is where it's supposed to be, I have to press the brake to get to this last one. But that's okay, because that means it's fixed and in the right place. Now that these are all hand tight, I can start using the Allen key to really start tightening them down. Once again, I'm going to start using the long side in the bolt and putting pressure on the short side just to get them set into place and get the mount set where it needs to be. Then I will come back with the other side, using the long side for leverage, with the short side in the bolt, tighten them down to make sure that nothing falls out and that these are tight and secure, and I will be able to have confidence in the safety of my motorcycle. Alright, that's done. Now I don't know about you, but I think that looks a lot better than this. So, on top of it looking better, that is also going to be a lot safer than this, because now I have some place to put my foot while I'm riding, and particularly around corners where your foot can catch the ground. And I've actually had this happen to me where I've gone around a corner a little bit too quickly, and I've gone to put my foot down or put my foot out in case I fall, and when I do fall, the momentum of the ground, of me going, catching the ground, will catch, sometimes it'll catch my foot and it'll pull it up, and I've actually had times where it hasn't happened to me, but I've seen it happen where someone will put their foot down, the ground will catch it, and it can pull their foot underneath the tire or into the chain. Not on this bike, because it wouldn't happen with this on this bike because the chain is on the other side, but I've seen situations where it has happened where people have gotten really hurt because they haven't had or haven't put their feet in the right place. So, thank you all for watching. I understand that this is a longer video, but that's kind of because I spent the entire time explaining how to do this and the whole cotter pin issue. That took up quite a bit of time. I am going to see if I can edit it out, or at least most of it, but if I can't, then it will be in there, and you guys will obviously know. So once again, thank you for watching. If you have any questions about motorcycle stuff, or you want like some advice on working on your motorcycle or working on cars, I'm not an expert by any means, but I do have some experience, and I will do my best to help you. Thank you. I already said that, but I guess I'm really grateful for all of those who watch my videos. It really means a lot when I log on and see my views for my videos, and you know, some of them are better than others, but to me every single one counts, and I thank each and every one of you that do take the time to watch my videos. So if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing, liking, commenting. It really helps out, and I have a Facebook page for my channel. It is Christian Goes Fast official YouTube channel. It's either official YouTube or official YouTube channel. Either way, like my page, comment, subscribe, like this video, share this video, and I will see you all next time. Thank you.